Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy, and I'm back yet again with another video. I hope that everybody is doing well and staying safe and actually chilling. It's Sunday, so hopefully you guys are resting up and getting ready for a new week to come. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into the topic, you guys. Today I wanted to talk about something a little different. I haven't really touched on this as much, or really at all, not that I know of. But I wanted to talk about the narcissist and financial abuse. This is really common when you deal with narcissists. A lot of them will abuse you financially. And you may not even know it. And really, how it happens is pretty much they will use their money to control you, to influence you or to dictate what, they think is right for your life. Or they may, pretend that they're supporting you or that, that they have your best interest. But it's really just a form of control, a form of manipulation, a form of being able to assert their power over you. And again, to influence you to do things maybe in their way. Because again, a lot of narcissists, not all, but a lot of narcissists are well-to-do. Maybe they have a really good financial life, or they're really doing quite well for themselves. And you guys might hear people saying narcissists are intelligent. Some of them are very, very smart individuals, and some of them have their own businesses and they influence people. A lot of people take orders from narcissists. So some of them can use that to their advantage and exploit and manipulate people. And you guys, let me know what your feedback is, what you think on this topic. Give this video a like. But why they do it, again, is just to control you and your life. Again, to dictate what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. Because a lot of narcissists, even though they may have a lot of things in their life, they may, be well off and have material things and have a quote unquote happy marriage or relationships, or it looks good on the outside, but on the inside, it's not the case. You guys know that, right? And I'm speaking from experience because I actually, as I said, I lived with my aunt for 5 years, and she was a narcissist, definitely had narcissistic tendencies. And at the time while living with her, I was 17 years old, and by the time I was 21, I had moved out. But during that period of time, while living there, I was thinking like, oh, okay, like she's my caretaker, she's supporting me, she's, helping me out during this time. But actuality, what it was is that she was using her position and her finances to keep tabs on me, to keep control over my decisions and influence me, or to get me to do what she thought was best for me. And I'll never forget this, you guys. The last conversation that I had with my aunt, I remember her telling me, because at the time I didn't know what she was. I just knew something was wrong. But she basically told me, she was like, well, Joy, I do see you as a daughter, and I do want you to, live a good life. And, I'm only saying these things because I care about you. And, at the time, because her mother, which is my grandmother, had passed away back in 2007. And she told me, she was like, well, before grandma passed, she said that she wanted to make sure that Joy graduated high school and that Joy, really had lived a good life and was successful and saying all that stuff. But and that could have been true. But I do feel like that definitely was a form of control, a form of manipulation to make me probably feel guilty, to make me conform to what she was trying to get me to do. And granted, my ideas that I had for my life were not the end all be all. I was young, I was living life, experiencing things. And, my aunt had an idea of what she thought that I was supposed to be doing, but it wasn't what I wanted to do, but the thing about narcissists is that they don't have boundaries, and they don't respect, your opinions. Like, in their mind, your opinions don't matter. Like, you have to live your life based off of what the narcissist wants you to do, and again, I didn't know what she was, but at the end of the day, I had my own mind, and I was very independent, and I knew that if it wasn't something that I didn't want to do, I wasn't going to do it. But granted, don't get me wrong, I did take it into consideration. I did do my research, and I thought about how I felt in that regards. But at the end of the day, if it didn't make me happy, it didn't sound like something I wanted to do, and I had a choice of doing something else, well, I'm going to explore what I felt is best for me. And narcissists don't like that, especially narcissistic parents. And hello, nobody from Brazil. Hi, welcome. That's an interesting name you have there. But welcome. And please feel free, you guys, chime in on what you think in regards to narcissists and dealing with financial abuse. But the reason, yes, the reason why I am having this talk about the narcissist and the financial abuse is because while living with my aunt, I didn't realize this, you guys, but she pretty much paid for a lot of the things while living with her. As I said, again, I was young, I was learning my way. Everybody has that opportunity to learn and to grow. We don't have things figured out. But anyway, she paid for my phone bill. There would be little occasions where we would go out and travel, and she would pay for everything. And we would go out to nice restaurants a lot of the times, and, she would pay for things. But once I noticed she was starting to keep tabs, I guess, on the things that she would do for me and the things that she would buy for me. So I always felt like it was disingenuous, like she wasn't doing it out of the kindness of her heart. She was just doing it to make herself look good and to make it seem like she was the good person, because I remember several times where she would invite me out to go Christmas shopping, and I'd be like, oh, well, thank you so much. And she was like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. But then would kind of bring that back up like later on, just like kind of throw it in my face. And then another instance, because I usually don't talk about my aunt a lot on the channel. I usually kind of talk more about the male narc, but I thought it'd be good to kind of let you guys know how I did experience financial abuse, because they do stuff for you, but they throw it in your face. But I remember there was one time where I wanted to get my hair braided. And I think this was like when I had first moved down there. I think it was in 2006, 2007. And she was the one that recommended me to get my hair braided at this particular person. And I got it done. And then I thought like, she was okay with me with getting it done and that I wouldn't have to like pay her back. But then I remember she asked me like, oh, well, is your dad going to like help pay for the money that I had helped to get your hair done? I'm thinking like, well, I thought you was doing that at the kindness of your heart. You know what I mean? And so that was interesting that happened. So I was kind of feeling a little bit weirded out by that. But I didn't think much of it. But to go to the part where the financial abuse comes in, because again, she would pay for my cell phone bill. And again, I was thinking like, okay, well, she's just doing this to help me. She really wants me eventually to get out on my feet and, be able to take care of myself, support myself. But one of the things that I realized was one time, I think the bill, I guess maybe I was like using the data or something like that. Or maybe it went over and she was like, oh, well, the bill went over. So, eventually you're going to have to pay this yourself. And I'm like, okay, like, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, So just again, just kind of throwing it in my face, like she's doing it. She's paying the phone bill. But not only that, but she's paying the phone bill. I think it was for everybody, in the family, because narcissists, again, they like to control everything. But then she threw that back in my face, about the phone bill. But what was interesting, you guys, she would also pretend to, the time when we were talking about the phone bill, when I was ready to move out, right? She was saying, well, because for one, she didn't really agree with me with moving out on my own, you guys, because you guys know that narcissistic parents like to keep their adult children dependent on them financially and in all aspects. They want full control over their children. But I remember she told me when I was saying like, yeah, I'm moving out and this and that's this and this and that. And she was like, oh, well, you're going to have to pay your own phone bill, right? You're going to have to pay your own rent, right? And I'm thinking like, yeah, that's what adults do. You know what I mean? So just kind of throwing that in my face as well. And again, you guys, let me know what you think. Have you experienced this financial abuse from your narcissist? Let me know. I would love to hear. And then again, I don't know if I mentioned this, the other case was, her pretending that she wanted to get me something, whether it was for my birthday or whether it was for like a holiday or whatever. And then not really wanting to do it, but see if she still had control over me or if she can still have some sort of influence. You guys know what I mean? So, but yes, narcissists will abuse their victims financially. And it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling because you think that the person really is wanting to support you. You think the person really cares about you. But again, they're throwing that back in your face, because they really don't care about you. And they're doing all those nice things, like the whole love bombing and buying you gifts and doing favors for you. They're only doing it to look good to other people. It's not because they love you or care about you. Even if it's your own parent, it's the same thing. So, you have to kind of keep that in mind. Now, how to stop, allowing the narcissist to financially abuse you. What you want to do is understand what is happening. Take back your power and take the control back over your life. So this means being independent away from the narcissist, being able to take care of yourself. Without having a narcissist in your life, because the narcissist, that they don't like to lose control over their supplies, over their victims. They feel a sense of control when they can control you financially, and so and then you have other cases where it's like you're in a relationship and you could be dependent on your partner financially, and they may use that against you. So you want to be mindful of that. So if you are in a situation where, one person is taking care of everything, you want to make sure at least you are able to provide and to take care of yourself to a certain degree, because hopefully they're not a narc, because if they are, they're going to throw it back into your face. But you just want to make sure that you're able to take care and provide for yourself. Right. But yeah, I hope that this is helpful for you guys. And but yeah, and then I guess this could be homework for those of you maybe that are in a situation where you're dealing with a narcissist and you may realize that they're financially abusing you. Because sometimes what will happen is if you have gotten used to a narcissist, maybe they give you money or they're supporting you in some way, but sometimes they will withhold it and not give it to you and make you beg. Or if they want you to do a certain thing, they may not give it to you. And that's a form of them punishing you for not complying to them and not listening to them and not allowing them to control you and abuse you. So be mindful of that. But yeah, some homework for those of you that are listening. You want to keep and set your boundaries. If you know that you are dealing with a narcissist, you want to make sure that you are able to take care and provide for yourself. So if that means you have to get a gig, get a gig. If you have to work extra hours, work extra hours. Because again, sometimes when you're in a relationship with narcissists, they don't want you to work. They want you to be totally and completely financially dependent on them, because that means they have control over you. And you need to have control over your life. Right. But yeah, keep your boundaries up, have a separate life, have a separate, means of making your money, don't let it be totally dependent on this particular person. You know what I mean? And practice making decisions, practice being able to take care of yourself, practice making decisions for yourself without having any influence of the narcissist or anybody else. And let me know, what do you guys think? I love to know what are you guys' thoughts on this? Doing things for yourself, being able to make your own mind up about a particular situation. Like, yeah, we want advice. Yeah, we would love to be guided in a particular way, but you want to make sure that at the end of the day, you can make a clear-cut decision for yourself, by yourself, without any influence of anyone else, right? And then another thing is some homework for you guys is to learn how to be self-reliant, understand what that means, learn how to be independent. There's a really good book I highly, highly, highly recommend. It's called, it's by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. I just lost my train of thought. I'm trying to think of what it was. Actually, let me look it up real quick. I wanted to give it to you guys so you can check it out and read it. Let me see. I read this book and it actually really, really helped me in regards to learning about self-reliance. 50 Cent and Robert Greene. It actually looks like a Bible, you guys, too. It's pretty. Oh yeah, the 50th Law. So if you haven't checked that book out, I know you can get it on Amazon, eBay. Highly recommend it. Especially after dealing with narcissistic abuse, or it could just be toxic people in general. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. If you are dealing with financial abuse from a narcissist, understand the intentions, understand that it's not your fault. You just been victimized financially. And because a lot of us were really not the greatest with our finances. Like we didn't learn the importance of financial education growing up. We didn't learn it in school. We didn't learn the importance of saving and investing and passive income, residual income. We didn't learn about that, and so, as we get older, a lot of people will take advantage and they will use it against you, to demean you, to degrade you, to devalue you, which is what a lot of narcissists do. And they take full advantage of the situation. So you just want to make sure that, I guess more homework will just be study financial education, study financial abundance, learn about the law of attraction and how to manifest things into your reality, speak it into existence. Like another really good book, highly recommend, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki is really good. The Science of Getting Rich, I do believe it's by Robert D. Wallace. Highly recommend reading that book. So yes, don't allow people to control you financially. Learn how to stand strong, stand firm in your right, and know that you don't really need like anyone else's money like that. Like you're able to and very capable of supporting yourself. Like, yeah, it's great to get support, but if a person is using that against you and withholding it and playing games, like you don't deserve that. So anyway, that's all I have. Let me know what you guys think about this topic, and if there's any other topics that you guys want to learn about, let me know. Leave it in the comment box, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care and stay safe. Bye guys. And I do hope that this video did help somebody. Let me know. All right. Bye, guys.